and anticipation as the second round, the halfway point of the BNL Karting Series season, kicks into life right now. Drivers coming out of the chicane, into the tram lines we go. For the first time today, are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out, first time, we are underway. Behrman leads the field into turn one. Some drivers going towards the outside through into the next part of the complex. Now into the right-hander here at turn two. Then it's going to be the left at three. Someone getting a bit sideways coming out of turn three, but Behrman's just keeping things very, very nice and calm and collected. And there is the 206. That's Danny Shields. He's trying to make some moves up the order. But Behrman has already started to get away into the distance. Looks like Dave Stevens has got second place off of Timo Jungling as they come through into the next right-hander. As one of the carts actually decided to go a little bit off-piste, so to speak. Well, nearly took two wheels onto the grass. But Behrman, you're going to now see they're running on the curbs. There's Jungling battling away with the 242. That's Armand Hamilton. Hamilton's gotten through. Mounting the curbs. That looks to be Thijs van Wijk in the 246, who's just gotten up into fourth position. There's the big standing water puddle there. So second to fifth, very closely packed. Ollie Wise has made his way up a little bit further, but we've had a little bit of a tangle. There's one of the JJ Racing carts. That could very likely be. Well, I'm going to find that out in a moment as they are dropping down the order. Yeah, but it was Hamza Al-Fayez that unfortunately didn't take the starts. So the Jordanian will have to make a bit of a comeback through the latter parts of the heat stay, but there is a change as that was Timo Jungling up the inside of the 246 of Thijs van Wijk. Oscar Gusho in the number 213 is now up into fourth place, so there are it's a bit of musical chairs between that trio at the moment, as we've got just over 5 minutes plus an additional lap still to go. Going to be Laura Bubanova, I believe, as that was a bit close there between Timo Jungling and Thijs van Wijk, as now Oscar Gusho has made it up into third place. So Ollie Wise has now dropped to ninth position behind Dave Stevens and Julian Kovacevic. And that was just into shot there. That was Hamza Al-Fayez's cart on the cut through. You can see all the drivers there. They're looking on they're reading the conditions. And now Armand Hamilton, in the meantime, has caught up and is looking to pass Thomas Behrman in the 259 from KR Sport. And he's looking for the inside move. This is into turn three, but Behrman keeps it pinned to the outside. Hamilton swings wide through into turn four. And then there's this very, very deceptive 90-degree left-hander. They're going to hit the curbs again using the inside wheels on the left-hand side. Now into the next right. And around the back straightaway, if you can call it that. The gap between Behrman and Hamilton across the line last time was just over 2.5 tenths of a second. And this is where I did say traction would be premium. So we're halfway through this opening heat. Junior Rotax C versus D. This is day one out of two. You can see a little bit further behind us, our camera is tracking both Behrman and Hamilton. This is the race lead being contested at the moment. 3 1/4 minutes plus an additional lap still to go. Leaders have crossed the line. Hamilton's just lost a bag full of time. Gap has now expanded to 8 tenths. Gusho is about 1.4 seconds off of P2. Jungling, Van Wijk, Palmer up to 6th from 10th. Ollie Wise now up into 7th. Kovacevic, Mika van der Pavert and Francis Lucasel rounds out the top 10. Danny Shields has made his way up into 11th position, and he was towards the back end of the field when we started, the best part of over 4.5 minutes ago. So Behrman has got a better read on the conditions. But the thing is, he's also the guinea pig. That's a bit of a close manoeuvre there. Was that Mitchell van Dijk I just saw diving up the inside? Possibly on Dave Stevens. That will be a change for 12th place. So Timo Jungling is trying to close in on Oscar Gouchot from France. This is the battle for P3 as we come into the final 2 minutes. So this is going to be very, very crucial indeed. Look at the spray coming off of the rear Mojo wet weather tyres. Gouchot understeering into the opening corner, and Jungling carries the speed through. Is within a kart length of the 213 from France. Now through into turn number 3. Now the left at 4. Again, nothing really separating these two. You can be a bit banzai happy if you decide to dive up in the inside of that 90-degree left-hander. But Jungling looking for a better opportunity to get past the 213 from France. Danny Shields now is in the top 10. Fastest lap of the race so far. Armand Hamilton, 1 minute 15.104. Now, you people at home might be thinking these karts, they're going to get a little bit slippery, so to speak. But at the end of the day, they're going to use those curves to actually help steer the car, rotate it through the corners, and then through this particular right-hander here, a little bit tail happy there from Ollie Wise I just spotted. But again, now, that gap was 0.8 of a second not that long ago as we're going on to the penultimate lap. Hamilton is catching Behrman once again. And Thomas Behrman put in a 1 minute 15.759. Armand Hamilton, 1 minute 15.193. Julian Kovacevic has dropped out of the top 10 and now sits in 11th. Does the 264 running with Kilian Kraft's operation at Kraft Motorsport. There's a change a little bit further back. That's just outside of the top 10. Could be Matthias Jererup that's making a move. Looking to dive up the inside. And also, when they're trying to press the throttle down and exit out of the corner, what can sometimes happen is the back end sort of steps out from left to right. Timer has expired. 1 more lap to go. So once they cross the start-finish line, they'll be just under 1.4 kilometres for Hamilton in second. And Behrman leading the race. Behrman has not lost the lead at any point in this race. He takes a look over his right shoulder, sees how close Hamilton is. So this time, final lap board will be out. And the gap between the top two has just expanded to just over 0.3. So Behrman leading the way onto the final lap we go. Timo Jungling has now got past Oscar Gouchot for third place. Theo Palmer started on the back part of the top 10. The Emirati base driver now into P5. And Hamilton has got to run a speed. He's going into the left-hander. He's sweeping to the outside to maybe carry the momentum through. He might not go for the crisscross because there is a definitive line starting to show. And there's the move. There's the move for the lead. Hamilton just waited and bided his time. He just went through a big old standing water puddle. And now Behrman, through the technical part of the circuit, got through, retook the lead. Hamilton's back up the inside into the next left-hander. Now into the right. It's going to be a run to the line, and Timo Jungling is closing in on the 2 in front. Hamilton leads them into the final right-hander on lap number 7. Who's going to get the better traction? It looks like it could be Behrman. They're going to go through the final chicane. It's nose to tail between the top 2. Who's going to take it? Behrman pulls to the right-hand side. It's Hamilton. Hamilton by 0.127 of a second. Timo Jungling made it the top 3 covered by 0.6. Behrman lit up the rear tyres. It hooked up onto the tarmac, and he gave Hamilton a bit of a scare as the rest of the field crossed the start-finish line to take the checkered flag. Armand Hamilton takes the opening race victory of the weekend. All results called by myself here in the commentary position, which is actually just over. I can see the start-finish straight, the starting gantry, the start light gantry, and also the timer. So Armand Hamilton wins the opening race of the weekend ahead of Thomas Behrman by just under a 1/10 and a half. Timo Jungling in second. Timo Jungling in third place ahead of Oscar Gouchot, Theo Palmer, Thies van Wijk, Ollie Wise, Mika van der Pavert, Luca Sells, Danny Shields completes the top 10 ahead of Julian Kovacevic, Mitchell van Dijk, Ryan Bourguignon, Matthias Jererup, Sky Parker, Sinje Perez Onbol, Tay Stevens, Laura Bubanova, and Matti Sometre rounding out the 19 finishers. And unfortunately, before the start, we lost Jordan's Hamza Al Fayez.